Good evening, my friend Ambit. How are you doing? How is everything? I'm just about to start. Just trying to find some nice music. Give me a moment here. Let me just, yeah, I think this is chill. Amazing. Okay, perfect. All right, so not to waste any time, here's my friend Matty. Good evening, Matty. How are you doing? How is everything going? Let me just make sure we're good, because this is kind of, I streamed this morning or this afternoon. I kind of left this stuff opened, so I didn't touch it. My computer was just put to sleep, so everything seems to be here. So basically today I finally managed to make the infinite scroll. Good, man, good. Just been chatting to one of the viewers here, Idea Maker. He kind of wants to join the Programmer Network team. He wants to support me here in this project. So we had a long call, a really good call, and I was very happy because of that. And then yeah, just seeing my wife put my kid to bed. My wife as well went to sleep, and I'm just gonna go and chill with you guys now. And I'm super excited for this platform as we're building more and more stuff. I just can't wait to get it out and start kind of seeing if it makes sense or not, and what to do next, and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, man, exactly. Got here. And I'm just gonna try the experiment today with this. Yeah, never mind. So that's, how are you, man? How was your working day? How was everything? Oh yeah, sorry, it is a weekend. Yeah, ignore me. Of course, I mean, I don't work. We are not working weekends. Let me just gonna see how does Twitter do the infinite scrolling. Ah, damn, man. Okay, got it. I mean, don't be, man. You strike me honestly as an awesome employee, so I have no reason to believe that you should be stressed or anything like that, man. All right. So what I'm going to do now, and what we're gonna kind of focus on for this evening here, until we have the strength to stream, we're gonna be basically so so I figured out today how to combine this infinite scroll component to the actual use SVR hook, and I was very happy today to solve that. It's not hard, but it's not obvious neither, so it was a bit painful because it wasn't obvious, and it was a bit strange. As you can see, there's some code here that had to be written for it to work, but I managed. And then actually I guess we can leave that actually, and then we'll have to cover those states now as well. But I think more importantly, so we do have this hook now, and we can pretty much use it for any other page. So let's kind of try that. Let's go to the articles tab, right? And let's try to use this. We are actually using the use infinite here already. We don't need this whatsoever, so we can get rid of that. Ah, come on. You can do it, Alex. You can do it. Perfect. So basically we fixed this, righty? And then, so we pretty much want to do as the thoughts tab, right? So we need the infinite scroll component there. It's going to be pretty much identical, right? More or less, right? Let's kind of actually get this. So let's grab this fella here. Let's smack it. Let's smack it somewhere around. Actually, we no longer need this loading state, right? Let's grab this fella as well, and we'll actually just the actual prop, just the actual things that we destructure. James, thank you so much for the follow, man. Appreciate it. And I'm sorry for setting the follower only chat. Just FYI, it's just an experiment for a day or two, because I want to basically do a little experiment to see if people actually forget to do so or not. So by no means it was ever mandatory before, nor it is now. It's just an experiment. All right, and then we do this, right? So that's perfect. Pretty much, I guess we could get rid of this now, right? And we can get rid of this, right? And then we need to import the infinite scroll, right? Which is okay. And then this is our kind of new component we designed today to cover once you reach the end of the paginated stuff, right? Let's do this. And then if we go here, we have the rows, right? So we're not importing data anymore. We're actually importing rows. So we do this, right? That's pretty nice, right? So let's go back here. Let's see if this is still failing. So no, we're good. And we can see actually if we scroll, actually the reason why we hit the end already is because I think we are only loading like 15 articles anyway. So there's no more stuff to load. We can see actually we're 100% it is Mbit. Yes. 100% it's possible, yes. And you don't have to learn it. Of course, it's if I would be a... The thing is, right, Mbit, when you say learn TypeScript, right, there's kind of two... You should, yes. So when you say learn TypeScript, I'm just gonna be short. So TypeScript can be looked at as several things. So TypeScript, many companies use TypeScript just because of the type system. And that's basically 5% of TypeScript, because type system, you know, set it explicitly something to a string or an enum to an interface, whatever, is just, so that thing you can learn in 1 hour or 30 minutes. Now, if you want to write generics and templates and a lot of other stuff, that's rather patterns rather than TypeScript, right? So TypeScript basically is built by Microsoft and is heavily influenced by C# community, object-oriented programming, etc., right? So when one says, perfect, if you have experience with Java, then many concepts in TypeScript are going to be easy to understand. It's like any other object-oriented programming language, right? So it's very similar, yeah. You have interfaces, you have generics, you have class, like, but again, it's very imperative to understand that most companies use it just for a fraction of features, which is types, the type system. TypeScript is not the only type system for JavaScript. There's another one called Flow. And this Flow has been built by Facebook. And I would rather use Flow than I would use TypeScript. Why? TypeScript is very opinionated. So TypeScript isn't only type system, it's also a language in a way. It kind of, if you want to write TypeScript the way that TypeScript is intended to be written, then you would be writing more of a C# type of, you would have type of a C# mentality, right? Flow whatsoever is a, Flow whatsoever is just a simple type system, basically. So you get all of the types. You can see, if I zoom here, you say n is a number, this function returns a number. you can obviously do this with TypeScript as well, right? Of course, now this is not a matter of you deciding what you should learn, because yes, unfortunately, most projects, if they have a type system, they're going to be using TypeScript. But if I would, for example, decide for Programmer Network now that I need types in my front end, for example, I would use Flow and I wouldn't use TypeScript, right? Because yeah, a dynamic language is a dynamic language, and there's nothing wrong with writing a dynamic language, right? It also has a mentality on its own, right? But yes, you should always learn something new, and you should definitely learn TypeScript, yes. Okay, so going back to my stuff here, right? So one thing that I can see now, so we're almost nailed this perfectly, right? The only thing that it would be nice that we do is to show the spinner on the initial load, because you can see now that this is pretty horrible, right? Because we don't show the initial load, we have this flicker thing, and it's not really good. Good thing about this is I believe that we do have so let me just explain this for very few of you that, well, I just started streaming, hopefully it's going to be more of you, but let me just explain this for a tiny fraction. So this hook, basically, you can see there's is loading and is loading more. Is loading state basically is the initial loading state. So when you load the first page, so or when you don't have a single page loaded yet. So is loading meaning did I load anything yet? And then is loading more, because the way that this pagination works, or that this use SVR infinite works, is that for every given page it pushes another array into the existing array of documents. So when you fetch a first page, you have an array with one dimension, another array. Then when you fetch another page, you have multi-dimensional array, or to say with 2 dimension, etc., etc. So what we can do here, actually, I think pretty confidently as well, we can actually just ask once if it's loading or something, right? Let me just do one thing. Let me go actually here. Let me just yeah, that's good. Let me just revert to Oblivion here, so I can get my previous loader set up here. And then I'm gonna kind of do this, and then I'm gonna close that stuff, and I'm gonna do this. Then we're gonna import this rotate spinner, right? And I feel that we should only get the spinner on the initial load, and let's actually add it back also to the good evening, Stefan. Good, my friend. How are you? How is everything? How is life serving you today? It's just an H&M. I think I bought it in H&M, or it's the most simplest one that there is. You guys might have noticed in my streams that I only wear one colored things. So I have like 15 or 20 dark t-shirts. I have like 3 or 4 of the same ones of this. And that's because philosophically, whenever I'm dressing up to go anywhere, I always, or most of the time, I wear the same stuff. It makes life a lot simpler, yes. And also classic things are just easy. I have few jeans, super easy. Yeah, you're never in doubt what you should be wearing, right? Yeah, I think we're good. So I think my assumption here worked. So we do get the initial spinner, and then we're no longer getting it. Yep. Yeah, good. Okay, perfect. So that sort of stuff works, right? So that's really good. And we made our pagination. Well, there's nothing to paginate here now, but yeah. Okay, so let's go to our road to MVP. So let's see if there's something now. So we've tested it, this works now. We are confident that this is how it works. So let's see if we should furthermore or even more try to generalize this, right? Because I'm not actually quite sure if we do some crazy things, right? Um, the thing is, Mbit, let me just tell you one thing. So you keep the positive attitude, and so most companies want to get most out of us for as less amount of money as possible. That's why, in a way, a full stack position also was invented. So instead of hiring two people who can focus on specific things, you hire one person. Of course not. Of course you don't, and you will simply have to find. Well, first of all, you should be applying for either front end or back end position, number one, because that's going to make it easier. And number two, you have to find the right company who has realistic expectations, because all companies differ. They have different experience in hiring. They're different size. So just keep on applying. All of us get rejected. The best developers on the planet, they get rejected, right? So no matter the experience, at one point in career, you're gonna get rejected, right? Well, I don't know why would they ask you to know Node.js if it's a front-end position, but either way, it's just probably a company you don't want to work for anyway. So, no. And you cannot have 2 years of experience and be strictly a junior. That's also silly. So that company basically wants somebody who isn't a junior to work for a junior salary, and someone who isn't strictly front end but who knows more. That's pretty much what it is, right? And you don't want to work for such company anyway. So move on and keep applying until you find a company that's realistic and stuff like that, right? Just test this stuff. So one thing now, so keep in mind now. Hey there, Winsword. Good to see you again. Mbit, I genuinely say out of my heart when I say this, all of us get rejected, no matter your experience. I have a massive portfolio. I've been working past 13 years, 14 years. You can check my LinkedIn. You can find it in this Twitch description. I get rejected as well, so never take it personally. Never take it personally, right? It's just how it is. Keep in mind that for every position, usually company hires, let's say, 1 or 2 people, and I don't know, 50 apply. So 99.9% people get rejected, right? So never get discouraged. Just, ask yourself, okay, if I didn't get accepted, what did I do wrong? Try to get some lessons. And then as you keep interviewing, because interviewing process as well is pretty much something you have to learn. It's literally something you have to practice. You have to kind of get to know how to sell yourself. Think about that. Whenever you go into an interview, you're a product and you're trying to sell yourself, and the person on the other end is like, okay, why would I buy you and not 50 other products, right? So it's very inhumane when I speak about it. It's very horrible how I say it, but it doesn't make it less true, right? Because it's very true. Hey Alvi, pretty good. Just kind of hacking with you guys, chatting here a bit. Good. I streamed today as well. We did some nice amount of work, so I'm pretty happy, man. Stefan, it's we're human beings, and getting separated from parents when you move out was hard for everybody. I think at one point we all cried one way. I mean, I'm 33 years old and I still cry sometimes missing my parents. They live in a different country. I see them once a year, so we're all human and there's no shame in that. It would be quite awkward if you didn't feel like that. As of projects, I cannot suggest anything other than say follow your passion. If you like video games, if you like music, if you like skiing, if you like skateboarding, find something you like in the real life or some passion that you have about. So if you're playing, I don't know, Counter-Strike, see if there's some service or whatever that you could make for that. If you're playing, whatever you do, right, whatever can fulfill you. Because I do this project, I do Programmer Network because I wanted to do this for many years, and I love this project. I'm very passionate about it, and I truly want to do it. I could clearly do 5,000 other things. So for me to show up here every night, the only way I can do it is if I'm passionate about it, right? If I wasn't passionate about doing this, there's no chance this would ever happen. So that's why I say you have to find something that you can be passionate about, otherwise you will not be able to do it, right? So whatever your passion might be, pick that, right? That's the easiest thing, right? Okay, I'm gonna shut up for a moment, but great questions, and I hope that helps, guys. If you need any clarification or whatever, just ask. So okay, while we're at this, while we're at this, let's just go a step further, so we don't shift too much, because now we're kind of in this land of pagination. We did it in the back end, we did it in the front now. We added infinite scrolling and all this. So let's see if there's something kind of more interesting around that let's read about. Okay, I don't actually have but I would truly like to read their logic and read the source code of this library, because I believe the source code is probably incredibly simple. But let's just go to pagination once more and see if there's something else that we could add while we're at this. Page abstraction. Okay, let me just kind of take a look at this. So in a way, so looking kind of at this, right, in a way, the only downside of abstracting this whole thing out, because you can see in a way that this technically could almost be literally just a, so we could turn this into a super nice component, a generic one, that takes the actual URL, literally, that's it. So all of this basically could be a component. Now, the only downside of generalization programming in general, no matter which end or programming language, is that then you lose a bit of an ability to do custom things on specific views, right? So for instance, if we go to our thoughts or tweets or articles, they're kind of just lists, and they have separate components, and then when you scroll infinitely. So for such use cases, I think generalizing this can be perfect. But if we would need then to additionally style stuff, we kind of wouldn't be able to do that, right? So that's kind of where generalization isn't that useful, right? So let me just think this through for one. So I think that we should go ahead and do that. So let's try it. Sometimes you just have to try something and then try to get a feeling off of it. So let's create this as a core. Let's make this as part of our core library. Let's call it infinite list. Let's actually think about it for a second. Let's call it infinite list. Yeah, we'll see. And let's create infinite list JSX, and then index JSX. And as always, let's say export all from ./infinite list. And then let's go over here. So basically what we're gonna do, let's grab this whole thing, right? And then we're gonna generalize it. Let's list and reached. Then we'll also have to kind of we'll need to list and we'll have to move some of those components because they're no longer kind of in the right places relative to this. But then so we're not going to importing this here. We're going to call this infinite list. The infinite list. And then this component, right, is going to take the URL. And then essentially it's going to take, so we're going to call this rows, let's call this thing an item or something like that, or a row. So we keep it kind of generic, so it doesn't really imply anything. And over here we can pass a list item. Let's call it a list item, right? So this kind of pretty much makes it generic almost, right? Now let's try to use that. So let's go to the tots tab, and pretty much here, right? I mean, almost. We will get rid of everything, right? And then we'll say return infi. Let's just do it here, and then we're gonna nuke stuff. So let's say return infinite list. We're gonna say that list item is user message for this one, and then we're gonna say that URL is gonna be this file here, right? So that's simple as that. And then we can get rid of all this, and we can get rid of this, right? And pretty much we're gonna end up almost having nothing inside here. So we're gonna have this, this, and this. So let's now go to the tots tab as well again, and see if this thing still works. And yeah, we can see that it's still paginating as we scroll, and then it stops when there's no more records. Great. So you can see kind of how we generalize this now, and we're gonna save a lot of redundant duplicated code. And then you go to the articles tab as well, right? The only difference here as well is gonna be the URL. So now we have a very generic, very general component for very specific use cases like this, right? And then we can nuke all of this, and we're pretty much at the same spot where we were a second ago. And obviously here we need give me 5 seconds. We need so we need so this is going to be the article component, right? So actually we need this, and then this, and then this, and then this, that. And this should be called articles tab, so that's what it's complaining about. Perfect. And then when we go back to it again, it it explodes. Okay, let's see what we did. What did we do wrong? Probably something, a title of article. Fine. Wait a minute, let me copy this and let's see what, if anything, we did wrong. And let's check our generic component row ID. Fine. Use infinite, yes. Yeah, I think we're good. So what's happening? Okay, I get it. So the thing, what's happening basically, as we saw, if I go back and revert this, we can see that here I'm passing an article prop because this fella is, so we will have to, so it's fine, right? So in a way, we'll now have to kind of modify this article. Let's actually get, so yeah, here we're just Then here we're just so we're not, yeah, sure. Okay, how do we solve that properly so we can use this in a generic way? Let me actually go over here. I mean, it's the only way that we can solve it is just to actually not pass it as an object, but just spread it, right? So so actually to do it like this pretty much, right? And then nuke this. Then we have to find where we're using the article, right? And we're using article list, and here this is where we're using the kind of the article, right? So we have to spread it. Yeah, I think this should be it, right? Yeah, that's it. So now we can kind of sport our genericness, if I can say. And let's actually go to the profile here. It still works. Let's go to some tag. Let's go to some other user. So everything is still fine, right? So now you can kind of see how we made this super cool infinite scrolling with actually some pretty cool libraries, basically. So this is kind of our generic thing. We pass it a component for this infinite scroll, like whatever the list item is. And then we pass it the URL of the endpoint from where we're actually fetching stuff, right? So I'm actually pretty happy with this, to say. Pretty happy. We'll obviously have... And this loading state actually... I don't quite see where that thing is shown. It's shown at the bottom of the page, okay. Is there a way to loading... I guess we could get rid of this. Let's kind of play just a bit with this, because this is going to be used across the whole network, right? So this is one of the most important components, because we're going to have a lot of those lists, because that's what content platforms are. You have a bunch of content to scroll through and stuff. So I guess it would maybe, just maybe, be nice to have some sort of indicator that this stuff is loading. Can I just pass null here or something? Is it gonna take that? Let's take a look. Yeah, I guess it will. So let's try to, so now this is our generic component. So once we update it here, it's going to propagate to all other places. So if it's loading now, we're showing that initial thing. But now I want to handle the is loading more stuff, right? How the hell could we do that properly? Let me try something maybe crazy. So I don't know if this is gonna work, so let's see. Let's not have that. So let's say here h1 loading, we're gonna just do something crazy. Let's say here class name is gonna be text and something largest like 9XL. Let's just see if we can see it now when we scroll. Yeah, it actually loads so fast that, yeah, so we saw it there, right? So what I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna try to do something like this. I'm gonna say class name absolute, then I'm gonna say relative, and then I'm gonna say top 0, just for a second. Let's see. No. Okay, let's say no, so it doesn't kind of like that. Okay, fair, fine. Thing is, right, like, so what we can try doing now is, let me try one thing, right? So let me try to go to my fetcher here. Just gonna try to kind of defer this manually so we can kind of work with that state. And my bloody tooling constantly keeps removing stuff. Let me just try something like this first with some super tiny. All right, let's see what's going on. Let's see what is going on. Okay, data. Got it, yeah. Mainly because we are not resolving the right thing, right? We have to say here, then, response, and then we have to resolve response.json, right? Then we have to do something like this. That's quite strange. Just check here. My brain is kind of exactly okay. Fine. So sure. Okay. Fine. Should be fine now. Yeah. So let's defer it by 2 seconds. So let's kind of try to mimic sometimes the reality for some users. So when we release this, there could be someone with slow internet connection. Server could be under super stressful load. So let's kind of try to defer it like this. So now when I scroll, we see the loading thing. And then when I scroll again, we see the loading thing, right? We also see one thing that I dislike, which is this overflow, right? So you can see kind of when things are slower, there's this kind of overflow shown for this list. How can we get rid of that? Let's take a look. Let's go to our infinite list here, right? Infinite scroll. Let's try to say overflow hidden on both X and Y. Let's try this again. No, it's still kind of showing it's okay. The question is it this guy or is it the parent itself? It's probably the parent. So this guy is probably fine. But let's go. Let's just so we have the feed, right? And then we have the tab list. Then we have the tab panels. So it's probably some of those parents, and we don't have to fix that now. It's okay. It's also not a massive issue. But this is our loading state. Let's kind of, yeah, sure. Then as I scroll more, we're kind of good, right? Okay. And then we get here and we get the spinner for 2 seconds and then also that, right? And there's only a single page here. Okay, that's all pretty good. Let me close the window. I'm freezing. Alrighty, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So let's kind of get rid of those console logs. Let's see if there's any other left. Yeah, actually there's a bunch of consoles all over the place. Let's clean that up. let's leave the error once because we have to. All right, cool. Let's close that up, close that up, close that up, close that up. Sure. Okay. So going back to this, right? So let's do the loading state for this fella, and then we're gonna. So let me kind of. Yeah. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to, since we're using the same spinner, right? So for the initial load, let's use the same one. That would be the most consistent thing to do. So a logical approach to solve this problem would be that we simply use the same component for the loader here, and we should be good with that. So we use it on the initial load, and when I scroll down here, and this kind of overflow is kind of making it jump and stuff. I don't know what this is. So, but let's kind of make sure that it's centered. Let's make sure that it's centered when we do this. So let's just say class name flex, justify center, items center, and that should be okay, right? And then we'll have to solve this. So let me kind of yeah, let's first see if it's centered, and then we'll have to solve that overflow issue, right? You can see how this thing, and where could that be? Where could that be? Let's say overflow Y. Let's say scroll, just to see if we can force it to be visible. Let's just say overflow visible always. Let's see what this does to it. It doesn't do anything here, right? So it doesn't seem to be this. Reload 101, thank you so much for the follow, man. Appreciate it. So that's kind of fine. So let's just solve this arbitrary. It's quite a silly thing, but you can see it looks really strange when it's kind of jumping like that. I like the spinner. It made all the sense. I think we're good. I think now we just have to solve this pretty silly thing. So let's see. So this list is rendered inside of some parent probably, and that parent is maybe for whatever reason has some strange height set or something like that, right? So we have the panel tab panel. Height auto overflow auto. Okay. Sure. Okay, let's kind of go. So this infinite scroll is used inside of our tabs. Our tabs are kind of inside of the feed, right? So inside of those panels. And then so the kind of the only things we can assume is that we have this parent, we have this one inside. So let's kind of start randomly fiddling with it. So let's say that height here is full. Let's just start messing with the height. If that doesn't solve it, then we're gonna try to solve it with the overflow, right? So I go here. Okay, didn't solve it. Let's say here, let's actually say here overflow a scroll always. I just want to force. Okay, so it is this guy. No, not quite. Nope. Or maybe it is. Let's see. Should be able to fix it. So no. Okay. Let's try overflow hidden. Here. It's messed somewhere in one of those parents. Somewhere it's messed up for sure. So no. Wait, actually. So let me put it to like, let me put this deferred thing to like 5 seconds, right? That's just so we can kind of have more time to check it out. So this is the initial load. It's gonna take 5 seconds to load. Yeah. Well, why am I saying as if I know what's happening? and then we're here, and then we're here, right? So it has to be one of the parents. So either this thing, let's say height full, and then let's say it over here, height full. That's basically height full utility class is height 100%, right? 100% of the page. No, it's still happening. Hey, Matty, of course, man, hit me up. Let's try lastly. No. So no. So kinda, yeah, it has to be one of those, right? Now, yeah. How can we kinda... How can we, let me come, so it would be nice to solve this inside of a storybook, then you can see how hard it is to debug it here with having to set manual timers and stuff. That's not ideal, right? Well, never forget, you know, that arrays and objects are reference types. They're not primitive types, right? So make sure that you're checking the length of the array properly, right? Because in most languages, when you're checking for presence or absence of value, it's very important to know if it's a primitive or a reference type, because for most reference types, you're comparing the memory addresses and not the actual values, right? So that's usually the problem. Like, you cannot say in most languages, you cannot say if, you know, array, because arrays, so right, like when you have things like this and this, those are reference types. When I say const a is equal to an empty object, right? This now points, this is now a pointer to the memory address of this object itself. There's no pointers in JavaScript, of course, but because it's all happening for you. But when you do this, you're basically saying, hey, this A points to this thing. So maybe maybe that's happening there. I'm not quite sure. I cannot say for certain, right? I would have to see the code, right? But make sure that that's not happen. At least eliminate that, Matty, right? Probably that. I've seen people do that in many languages, right? Because yeah, when you're comparing a primitive type, you are indeed checking the value. But when you're working with references, my pleasure, man. Just never forget, reference types are always comparing. That's why people ask, hey, how come that, for instance, how come that this returns false, right? You might ask. Those are, and many people who never coded in, say, C++, C, or any strictly typed languages have issues with this, because people are like, how come that, I don't know, 5 is equal to 5, but empty object is not equal to empty object? Because this thing has one address, one memory address. This guy has another memory address. So memory is allocated for both of those objects, and they have different addresses. So when you compare it, it's actually true that they're not the same. But if you would stringify those two things, if you would say, you know, JSON stringify, you know, empty object, and then is equal to that same thing, is going to be true, right? Because now we're comparing two primitive values, two strings, right? And the same applies to arrays, right? It's going to be always false. Symbols as well, I think. Actually, I don't remember I don't remember the symbol API, but you get what I mean, right? So, and then of course there's, I could go into details now of many other things, right? etc., etc. But let's not go there. Let's not go there. Okay, cool. All right, great. So yes, so what did I want to do? What did I want to do? What did I want to do? Yeah, we were solving this overflow issue, right? And the question is, okay, how can we... Well, let's kind of put this fella here so we can have a bit more space, right? So let's see what could be this overflow issue, right? So we wait 5 seconds for this thing to load. We check this list out. So this is our list. React tabs. Was I right? Nice. I like when I'm right. Exactly. Exactly. Essentially, think about this, right? Pointers are a very confusing part for many people, but pointers are incredibly simple, right? So pointer basically points, so it doesn't point to a value, it points to the memory address of that value, versus primitive types, which are just values. So when you say var x is 5 and then you try to use that x, you know, get right. Yeah, it's we can do it maybe tomorrow or whatever. It's not that complex, right? It can get complicated. For example, in C++, you have double pointers, there are some things that can get some people a little bit off, and it takes a while to get it to kind of but you should definitely right. 100% what the Heisen also said, right? You kind of need to, anytime, Matty. I mean, you're the elder of this stream, so no need to thank me, man. And absolutely, what Heisen said, you really, the minimal. So when it comes to algorithms, or to say when it comes to data structures, right? The minimum stuff you have to know is heaps and stacks. This is kind of minimal, right? You need to know some concepts like LIFO, FIFO, last in, first out, first in, first out, etc. So those are kind of the main things that you have to know. What a stack is, what a heap is, etc. Right? It's not gonna help you practically too much, but it's gonna help. Like heap and stack are two data structures which are the most widely used. It's like, for example, if you want to know how Node.js works, right? If you want to know any of the most of the, like, pretty much anything is implemented with heaps and stacks, right? So it's kind of the backbone of programming, right? Yeah, definitely. Same with me, same with everybody, right? Oh wait, so inference overflow problem. Let's see if we can just quickly, because I want to move. What is this? Let's see. I just want to solve it kind of quickly. All right. I mean, none of that, like, let me be very honest with you, Matty, none of that is really that important, right? Like, there's a lot of things, obviously, in computer science, which is good to know, but in practice, you will rarely ever, especially in this part of industry that we're in, right? Like, if you are I don't know, Rust, C++ guys working on a database, right? I don't know, you're building a new database and you're trying to stuff like that. Obviously, the algorithms and data structures are backbone of your job. But for most of the practical things, you're never going to implement, you know, shell sort or you're not never going to be implementing sorting algorithms manually or data structures and stuff, right? Good evening, Nikita, man. How you doing? So it's kind of, but it's good to know, but it's not going to make you strictly better developer at all, actually. Clearly, because you've been doing well pretty much. It's, yeah. All right, so where the hell is this fella coming from, right? So let me kind of do one thing. So one thing that I saw here, so one thing that I saw with this infinite scroll is that, let's search for class children, Hessian height, initial scroll, Y, inverse. Just so basically, I'm literally trying to get rid of this overflow, and then we just want to move on. But it seems a bit annoying and strange. Yeah, you can see that it kind of, interesting. It's so irrelevant, but it's relevant, right? Because we're going to be using this thing now across the entire project. So it's kind of, if it was a singular use case, I would be like, whatever for now, but we have to kind of react tabs, right? Okay. Okay, fair enough. Okay, sure. I think the thing is I think that knowing at least the ideas of data structures is useful, right? So for example, I would probably fail now. I would probably now fail 99.9% of interview questions about graph sorting and stuff manually, right? Implementing, because I'm not doing that, right? For years I'm actually building products. But if I'm not in an interview and I have to implement a graph or whatever, I would do that perfectly because I know all the ideas and concepts, right? What I'm not sharp at simply is I'm not sitting whole day every day solving, you know, lead questions and answers, whatever, right? So the idea is, as long as you kind of are aware of whatever sorting algorithms, searching algorithms, data structures, and what their primary intent is, what a quick access is, and all this sort of stuff, you're good to go, right? You don't need to. The main reason why the only actually reason why you would want to ever have this on top of your mind is interviews, right? So if you ever want to work in any of those unicorn companies like Google, Facebook, whatever, they're going to ask you those questions, and they're going to ask you those questions because they have such a massive pool of candidates that they simply have to eliminate bunch of those up front. So they, by this no sense of imagination, they think that if you can solve a graph question that you're better than someone else. It's just like when you're a company that gets, you know, thousands of candidates submissions, you just have to have a process to kind of filter them out, right? But you don't need to understand them in detail. You just have to know, okay, there's this data structure and I have this problem. So, okay, that seems like, right, you know, a good idea. Oh, I have this type of data and this much data. So this is how I would, you know, so I would sort, like, you know, I would sort this set, and then I would, you know, apply, you know, how would I find, you know, an item in this sort of set, this sort of stuff. But you don't need to know how to implement this by heart, right? You just need to know, okay, there's, I don't know, linear search, and, you know, it's fine for shorter amount of lists, but it's probably the worst possible case for, you know, if you etc., right? There's like that sort of stuff, right? So don't obsess yourself with because to memorize all of this stuff, you constantly have to practice it. To like truly be able to implement it, you constantly have to practice it, right? And at one point in your career, you will simply have to be a practical developer, not a theoretical one. right? And then you're gonna forget anyway, because I used to implement this manually, all of this, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. This would be my personal advice, at least. Take it with a grain of salt. Okay, so I'm a bit wasting time here, honestly, but it's an important issue, and I don't know where this scroll is coming from. It's coming from this fella, because this infinite scroll. Amen to that, Akita. Yeah. Amen to that, right? All right, I know it's gonna be slightly annoying. By the way, guys, Idea Maker, he has kind of joined the project. He's gonna be my guiding star. We had a super long and super good talk today, so I'm very happy that yeah, he's gonna be helping out and helping me stay focused and all of that stuff. So thank you very much, Dominic, man. Appreciate it. It's gonna be a fun journey. Alrighty, let me kinda... Nope, he will not be streaming. He's gonna be my my common sense type of person. Okay, so it's this... No. Oh. Dude, what the hell is going on? Like... Pretty much the Kita, yeah. So we are now kind of a team. Yeah, the thing is... Indeed, yes. There's more people around, helping out, interested. The thing is, now I'm at the stage where I just have to push it out. I'm the kind of backbone of the network for now, and it's my kind of, in a way, also responsibility to make sure that people are interested and that they want to join and help out. And it's clearly super motivational as well to super motivating to say that people see, you know, interest and stuff in it. So and that's the point of this kind of stream as well, is to kind of get people who maybe share the same vision or whatever. All right. Yeah, exactly. But I think also, I mean, it's I don't know. It's just, I feel that if you build a team naturally, the thing is that I find this stream almost as a way, and this is kind of what Dominic, what Idea Maker in a way, kind of. I mean, the thing is, Matty, it's all about perception, really, because it's gonna take a lot of time. Sure, maybe, right? But you have all the time in the world, right? So you don't have the constraints of time, right? Okay, so I found it, by the way. So it's this guy. So it's the infinite scroll. You don't have the constraints of time, right? Linear is amazing, and I'm very, like, the thing is, when you guys share this feedback with me, I'm just incredibly happy that I'm influencing some of you in a good way. That's very motivating, and 100%, I'm very happy that you like it, because my pleasure, dude, my pleasure. It's yeah. Storybook is really something that I cannot suggest more. Seriously, like, if there's one thing that I would suggest to anyone doing any sort of front end, try to get it under your workflow. You're gonna thank me for the rest of your days. It's okay. Yeah, we nailed it. Nice. Ha, looks so nice now. So nice. I like it. Super nice. Cool. Storybook, do it. Like, you know, as you guys know as good as I do, changing habits is the hardest thing possible for a human being, right? Nobody likes change. No human being, or say majority of people, hate the thing that we're most scared of is change, right? But anyway, hence, you know, adding a new tool to your workflow is oh wow, thank you, Matty, thank you, as always, dude. Yeah. Whoa. Nice. Crazy stuff. Thank you, guys. Whoa. Nice. Okay. So yeah, wanted to say, Storybook, go with it. Just go with it. Don't. What did you forget to tell me? What happened with the Twitch? Allows viewer to pin a message in the chat for 2 minutes. Oh, for only $100. Dude, guys, listen to me carefully now. Each one of 7 you here, you are missing an insane opportunity. For only $100, you and 6 other people would read your own message for 2 minutes on this amazing channel. Do you know the marketing potential you're missing out? So take your credit cards, and $100 each one of you. Each one of you is gonna get 2 minutes of amazing stuff. And then I'm gonna get 20% of it, and then I'm gonna have to pay tax on that, and then I'm gonna cry under the cold shower, and Twitch CEO is gonna just enjoy his yacht. Great stuff. Amazing. So I'm gonna cry, you guys are gonna be broke, and Twitch is gonna be happy. It's great. I like it. I mean, dude, look, let me just, guys, tell you one thing. First of all, Matty, thank you so much for the subs, not because of the money or anything. Thank you. 2, if I ever decide to kind of make money here, I'm gonna create like Patreon or something, because I find it sad that you guys who subscribed, you're basically giving money to the platform itself. And I think that Twitch, with this direction they took, I don't think they're gonna end well for them, to be very honest. I don't think it's gonna look good for them, to be frank with you. YouTube is there, right? I don't know, man. I feel it's not about, you know, when we think about people donating money, I mean, people, for example, if you know, Matty decided to donate some to subscribe here because I helped him, or he finds the stream great, that's great. But then him paying Twitch for that is quite ridiculous, right? It's just, I don't know. I don't, yeah, I don't think it's cool at all, right? But the thing is, man, like, that's why I say, guys, and this platform that I'm building here is gonna be proof of that. There's nothing free. I wish that I can subscribe as a streamer on Twitch, pay monthly to use it to stream, but then I know when, you know, some of you decide to, okay, let me sub, you know as well that you're subbing to a streamer and not, you know, to someone else. So yeah, exactly, man. Why would you be sure? Well, think about it this way, man. If Twitch doesn't have ads, so for example, I know that some of you see ads on this channel, and you know what, I disabled all ads. There's no ads on this channel enabled in any shape or form. So if those guys want to take money from you guys, then, you know, disable ads and then be transparent about it. You cannot have both, man. You cannot spam people with ads from which they make money also, primarily, and then you're also taking away from the nations. I mean, that's yeah, 2,000 for ad-free experience. Imagine that irony. Imagine I'm just bullshitting you guys and you sign up and you're just flooding in ads. That would be amazing. All right, that would be crazy. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Now I really like this. I'm very happy with how this turned, so that's good. And then we reach the point and there's no more stuff to load. Great, okay. So perfect, super nice, cool. Let's all right, so that's good. Give me 3 seconds here, and then we move on. Let me just change this. I mean, the thing is, guys, like, I cannot play my own music because I still haven't. So this OBS Streamlabs, sorry, the Streamlabs tools that I use, it allows me to stream to YouTube and Twitch at once. But when you do that, then this VOD track feature gets disabled. They have a bug. I reported it already. So basically, I am putting this free type of music that I can play without worrying about stuff. I don't know, Nikita. It's a good question, right? Like, the thing is, I don't know. I don't know if they have multi-streaming. I assume they do at this point. And also with this Streamlabs thing, you get a bunch of stuff, you know, like bunch of design related stuff and stuff that you can use in your stream. Even though ironically I'm not using anything. I'm paying $19 a month just to multi-stream, right? Honestly, for me it's the same thing. It looks the same almost. It's just the Streamlabs, you know, those guys have built just a bunch of other tools around streaming and stuff, so I think that's mainly the difference. All right, cool. So this is good now, I think. My pleasure, Matty. Thank you as always, man. Thank you for being around, and please come by as always anytime, dude. You've been around this whole time, so I genuinely love seeing you when you're here. All right, cool. So we kinda, Take care, all Maddie. Take care, Maddie. Thank you. Sleep well, man. So let's say, I mean, kind of we're done with this. I feel this is good now. I don't think there's anything more to do to this yet, at least at this very moment. So let's kind of just say that we're kind of, let's just say that we are done. This is cancelled. Feed finalized frequent. Yeah, this is la 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 la. So feed, yes. So let's continue, right? So next thing that we have to do that we haven't done yet is basically ability to No, there's gonna be streams for a long time. I assure you of that, Steph. I know, yeah, I know you're kidding, but there's gonna be probably even more streams than now. Actually, let's see how it all goes. But I can feel that the intensity of this is just gonna actually increase and not decrease. So especially when we release, that's when this fun is gonna start. When we start finding bugs, when you guys start sharing ideas, is like, hey, you know, it would be cool to have this feature, then we build it. We maybe build it even in an open source manner somehow. We'll see, like as a module or something. We'll see, right? But the idea now is to just push through as fast as we can and get this out, and then, you know, go crazy with things. So let's now go. So we have this thing here. Let's actually zoom in a bit. Honestly, if I mean, the thing is like 100%, man, that would be great, I think, and we could do that fairly. I would love that. Maybe over the weekend or something. So maybe I can take one day a week and not code this, and we do stuff like that, or we build a library, or we build a framework. You know, we could build like a React clone, in obviously with minimal APIs and stuff, but that sort of stuff, you know, something that maybe people who haven't had a chance to build those tools kind of know how they're built and see some browser APIs and all of that stuff, right? I think that's a very good idea, yes. Just thinking now here for a moment. I mean, yeah, it's always painful when you have webpack issues and stuff. It's hard to correlate Docker and Webpack unless maybe you're talking about you're trying to build something inside of a Docker container, and maybe your Webpack fails because char.js fails or whatever. I don't know, right? Okay, so what I want to do now is, but let's kind of, so there are a few things. Let's just write them down. So let's kind of just do, so we have finalize free commit component, and then finalize add thought, finalize new thought, whatever, model or input, whatever. I mean, honestly, if anything, there's no better way to figure out and learn things than failing and then fixing them, right? I mean, I'm super happy today that I managed to implement this SVR with the actual infinite scroll and stuff. So it's something I instantly memorized, and it's gonna be in my mind for forever, right? So it's kind of those moments is what kind of makes this industry so fun, right? Like those gotcha moments, right? Okay, so but before we do this, let me just check one thing. Because for each of those for each of those things we have tags, right? And because this is going to be quite an interesting problem to solve, because basically now if we go to my storybook here and we go to the editor, right? So this is kind of going to be like tags, right? So when you press this, whatever, we're going to change this to be a hashtag, but you're going to be saying like, you know, hey guys, you know, have you tried using new, you know, JavaScript framework, and then whatever. Now, the downside of our initial implementation is going to be that we're not going to literally be supporting tags which we don't have in the system, so you will not be able to come here and say some custom tag, right? We're not going to start with that, because that does introduce a bit of complexity, not much, but we want to start simple, right? Let me think. I need to talk to myself in my head for a bit. The thing is, right? I think that it's not a technical issue, right? I know I can do that probably now within an hour or two. It's rather I haven't had enough time to deeply think about how that type of system should work and if it should exist or not, right? The biggest problem with just allowing random tags in a platform like this is that I don't actually know. It just I just don't think maybe it's necessary initially, right? Yeah, exactly. But I think also we will need to support some common tags up front, like common programming languages, common types of things, right? And then over time, as the community evolves, maybe we can then, you know, allow custom tags and stuff, right? I just don't want to. I want to start simple and then go crazy instead of going crazy and then moving back to simple, right? Because that's way harder. Exactly, right? Exactly. Because right now, if I go to my API, right? And if we take a look at tags, right? This is kind of my hard-coded list of tags that I made. And then I populate this in a database, right? So I have like kind of common programming languages and stuff, right? And then we can literally we're gonna manually be updating this list, right? Thank you so much, Stefan. Sleep well, man, and thank you for the kind words and stuff, and come back tomorrow as well, man. Good evening, German. How you doing, man? So right now we already support that, the Kitter, right? So right now that's how it kind of works, right? So you can go to a drop down or whatever here, right? Then this is the tags that we kind of support, right? And you just type, you know, I don't know, TypeScript or whatever, right? Stuff like that, right? So that's kind of how it works now. Oh, nice. Yeah. Basically, that's also when you're creating a new article, right? Well, we kind of broke that in the main menu, so we'll have to. But so that already kind of works, right? So let's kind of now go. Let me close the API. We don't need it now. But thanks for the question, German. Pretty good, man. Standard, I would like to say, right? Just hacking away with this, hanging with you guys. Community is growing. People are good, man. Good energy. Good solid progress. I mean, I don't know. 2-3 days ago, our feed hasn't even been yet taught through, right? And now we have it somewhere, and we're gonna now we have the API. I built the API, the endpoints like a day ago or so. So now we just need to kind of activate the new thought and then see where do you actually create it? Where do you write this thought? Basically, is thank you so much, man, and as always, really happy to see you coming back here. That's the most motivating thing. What's the hackiest thing that I ever wrote? Probably when I was a kid, I was writing those scripts in PHP for hijacking IRC chat rooms and stuff like that, right? And you know, when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a security engineer, because I kind of started with the Cisco and MikroTik and computer networks. So I really wanted to. My actually started my career in 2008 was I was a Cisco engineer. I worked as a network administrator in an internet service provider company. So I had a lot of interest for system level stuff, and but then it's really like, I think I was blessed in a way that I had an opportunity to not just try things, but also to work, for instance, in an internet service provider company where I had yeah, I mean, it's hard and easy at the same time, right? Because being a network engineer, when the network works, you basically sometimes just sit in the office for the whole month and you do nothing, because things work. And then sometimes when things don't work, you have to either set up a new device, new antenna, new router, and carry it to some location, whatever. So, but overall, it's a very nice job, right? Exactly. I remember my boss waking me up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., coming up to pick me up with a car, because internet broke in some village or something. So you have to sit in a car and drive there and stuff like that. So, but all of that was amazing experience, and I will never forget that. Standing on solitary buildings, like the tallest buildings in the area, on water towers, putting the belt on so I can hold my laptop. So basically I climbed this massive metal construction. I put a belt around my back and stuff, and over that metal thing, so I can hold my laptop on top of the, like, literally building, because I have to climb there, plug UTP cable into the router, and configure it in the spot. Yeah, it was super. A storybook, German storybook, basically is like a tool to create your design system and to isolate your components. So think of storybook as if you would take every single of your components from your UI and you would put it somewhere that you can see it, right? So storybook is basically just a way to lay out your components separately from your UI. So for example, if I want to design a button, I can come here and create a state for each given button, right? Right, so it's yeah. Okay, let me shut up a bit, because I really need to finish this. So new thought and so you should try it out. You're gonna thank me later. So don't even think about it, just do it. Don't think about using it. Go ahead now, install it in your project and use it, and you're gonna thank me later. Ah, okay, this is why, fine. This is why. All right, let's fix this one up. To navigate to new article, yes, and then let's pick this fella here. URL. Let's actually just change this so it follows the interface of the actual nav link. And then here we're gonna say right. Let's fix the old one that actually worked before. And then here we're gonna say, well, not URL anymore, but let's say to. And then we're gonna say state, right? State. It's gonna be state. Or we're gonna say or null. Something like that, I think so. Okay, so that works. And going back to you, the kit that you can see here now, when it comes to tags, you can search for Rust, for example, right? C++, right? C#, right? Or whatever. Didn't I write C#? React, right? Okay, cool. So we fixed that one now for basically the way that it worked before. That's okay. And now, so now the question is, in case we, yeah, I think it's basically how it's just common, right? And now so let me just think this through. So now when I click new thought, let me go to Twitter. Because I had created this Twitter programmer network account. As you can see, actually, I have 0 followers. It's going really well, by the way. It's great. It's super good. Everybody's following programmer network, okay? So what happens when those guys click tweet? Interesting. And they can just as well at any given moment say tweet, right? Cool. Interesting. If I go here, click tweet again. I hate Twitter. Please don't follow me and don't go there. I just made it so I can test this stuff. And this is the side effect of my Streamlabs. Every time I start streaming on Streamlabs, Streamlabs shares this with me, actually. Shares on the Twitter. So don't use Twitter. It's a cancer of society. Okay, everyone. This is cool. Okay, so basically they have a model. So I guess the only way I can solve it, if I want to have it generally available, is to show a model, right? Now the question is, once I create it, I guess once I create it, it should redirect me to the home page, and then it should appear on the top, I guess, right? Maybe. Right? I don't know, maybe. Let's maybe go that path. So once I click this, right, we spawn that model, and then no. But that's the thing, right? It's kind of it's honestly a valid point. I cannot. The problem is I don't think that we're copying them because they didn't really invent that, number one. And number two, honestly, it's just a common way to solve this type of a problem, right? So for instance, if you have a global action, if you have an action that you want to, yeah, but I'm actually not a fan of models, mainly because on mobile, right, it gets a bit painful and stuff, but also I don't know, right? It's very hard to discuss this, is because we would need to know a bit of kind of psychology of a person using our platform. So we would need some sort of, not tracking per se, but rather user testing to know, like, for example, I don't know, maybe a user would... Nice, man. This is pretty cool. Okay, let me see. Devs with a... Okay. Okay, let's see. This, let's say I'm just gonna test it. But this is pretty much what I want for us. Yes, something like this. Let's say this create. Let's actually sign up there. Pretty nice, okay. I like this. Is there a way to, yeah. I think that I like this. Let me think about it. I need to process it for a second. Oh, nice. So this is basically just an aggregator, right? So you basically have to submit your own stuff here, right? This is super useful for us as well in a way. It would be nice to integrate this service with us somehow to kind of increase the visibility of articles for our own users, right? Super cool. Thank you for sharing this. Let me just save this instantly. The thing is, right, like we'll think in this platform about all of those kind of gamification types of things, right? I think that the focus should always remain on building a good framework where it's easy for people to use the system, to filter stuff, to tailor their experience. And then once we nail that, then as a strawberry on top of the cake would be, you know, gamifying it, making it more interesting for people and stuff like that. And I think that boils down to the direction that exactly right. And then, you know, because if you gamify stuff or whatever and then experience is horrible, then who cares, right? Cool. But this literally just proves that what we are trying to do is the right thing to do. We can see more and more this concept of custom feeds, of more control. So we are kind of on the right path, because that's exactly what we're doing, just in my opinion, even simpler and on a broader level. This is pretty much just articles, right? And I can see they have bookmarks as well. We have it. So we want to not just solve it for the articles, but also for all sorts of other things, right? So the whole overall experience of the network should be very tailored to however you want, right? So this is pretty cool. Thank you again for sharing. And then I'm gonna see, like, I'm gonna research this when I have the time a bit more, right? New thought. Okay. So yeah. The kit, I believe we discussed that before, 100%, that's already in the backlog. So this feed here that you have as well, it should also show your GitHub stuff as well, etc., right? Yeah, definitely, man, 100%. It's gonna be there. No. Thank you for saying it, man. It's already German. I have a bunch of. I've created a whole infrastructure diagram. So yeah, that's sorted out. I'm not gonna do some of that on the stream. I might do some of it also on the stream, but a lot of that is gonna be a bit. There's always a lot of secrets and environmental variables and stuff, and that sort of stuff is tough to do on the stream because I don't want to share that sort of stuff. Okay, so just for a second here. Okay, let me not procrastinate here. Let's just do it. It's fine. I need to sometimes. I just have this thing in my mind where often I just have to kind of convince myself into something. So when we click this thing, right, we want something to happen, right? Sorry, I just need a second more because the model. Let me just go to Twitter again. I need to just test one hypothesis. So no, it doesn't make sense in our context to put it as a model, because you can clearly see that for this platform, no matter where you are, as long as you create it, it's always ends up in the same context or the same page where you are, right? Because for instance, if I go to settings, is there some settings here in Twitter that I can check, like Creator Studio, whatever, topics? So what happens if I create it when I'm under topics? Cutie pie. Hey Hanulak, how are you? Oh man, did you seriously follow me on? Oh my god, dude, unfollow me immediately. Good man, I'm pretty good. Just hacking out, you know, trying to squeeze out some opinions out of you folks. My wife never called me cutie. Thank you. I feel more confident now. Whoever followed me on Twitter, unfollow me right now. I beg you. Do not follow me on Twitter, man. You don't want that. You might give more people ideas and then... Alright, fuck it. Sorry for swearing. I just felt it in me. I had to get it out. Okay, so... Why am I asking the same question in my head? It's almost like I feel something isn't right. I hate you, man. I hate you. New thoughts. So let's say I'm here. Then I click this, then I get a... No, I cannot go with this. No. I cannot go with this. I mean, imagine you're here and then you click new thought. You're now in thank you, man. You get the model here. It just doesn't feel right. Why would I create a thought from here, right? Nah. Sorry, can't. Nah, nope. Can't do. No, cannot do that. New article kind of doesn't make sense. It does make sense kind of, because it takes you to this view. New thought whatsoever needs to be somehow bound to this here, right? Oh, did I share this? Nice. Yeah, exactly. This is pretty. Yeah, definitely. My pleasure. Yeah, that was pretty. I mean, this book written by Adi Osmani and some other people from Google, if you didn't check this out, I highly advise you to do it. It is really nice. I haven't had a chance yet to deep dive into it, but it's really good. Like, I swear to God that if you read this thing, you don't need any other book. Even though it's very heavily based on web development, it's gonna teach you, so all of those things, patterns, proxy patterns, singleton and stuff, this is universal. Higher order components, render props, la. So seriously, if you haven't, this is like the absolutely something that this is, in my opinion, for those of you who don't know, Adi Osmani is a programmer from Google. He's been working there for 20 years now, almost. He wrote a book on JavaScript design patterns, like, I don't know, a decade ago. That book, I read it like from start till end, and it helped me tremendously. And he's a super good engineer. He works as a part of Chrome Chrome development environment. He does the dev tools at Chrome and stuff. And he wrote this book with one of the colleagues he has at Google. I think one or two of them, and they put really a lot of effort into this. There's like, you know, like, I don't know, let's say performance patterns. Like, there's a bunch of other stuff. You can download the book there, but you click it, you can see they really did the diagrams and examples. I mean, senior, junior, whatever, is not really strictly measured by this sort of knowledge, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure there are many juniors out there so it's mostly experience, right? Anyway, read this. Let's get back here. So let me go back to my thoughts thing. Let me get back here. And over here, we're gonna have our my pleasure, Tori, my pleasure. So let's kind of do this now. Editor. We need to initialize this draft.js editor state to an empty one, right? Then we have to pass this fella editor state, which is the prop that it takes. And then what was the other one? Let me just grab all of this stuff. Do this, right? On editor state change, we're gonna give it set editor state. And then let's pass it we're gonna need this callback. So we're gonna need this callback here, because this is how we're gonna handle the mentions or the tags for the given tweet or whatever. So let's kind of just create some of this boilerplate here. Oops. We're gonna pretty much do the same with this. Just gonna copy paste that stuff for now. Suggestions is going to be the actual data for the tags. So the suggestions is going to be the tags. Let's just hard code it here for a minute. Air toolbar, and then toolbar items will have to provide as well. And as we said, for the tweets, or to say for our thoughts, we're going to provide minimal amount of, that's why we extended this toolbar with the toolbar items, right? So if we actually go here and then we go to my toolbar, so we're gonna, as we said, we're gonna support bold, maybe whatever, bold, italic, and I don't know, code block. So let's say here, bold, italic, and code block. That's pretty cool. Let's get back over here. And obviously this is now visible, but it's not gonna be, we'll have to trigger it. Let's kind of zoom in here a bit. So we'll trigger this thing somewhere, somehow. And I don't think we should trigger it here. Let's kind of see now. All right, cool. But let's take it slowly, and let's now say const is adding, is sharing a thought. A thought is set is sharing a thought. What a funny variable name. I feel so sad laughing at. It's so sad that I'm laughing at the variable name. What a great life I have. Beautiful life. So sad. Okay. Amazing. That's the best joke I've heard this month. And even I said it myself. Great life, great life. Okay. And then let's exactly, what a great life. I said a joke and then I laughed at it myself. Only my mind knows. Only my mind knows. I'm just writing the boilerplate now, bear with me here. What a beautiful life. We're gonna have an icon somewhere. And Hanulak, you forgot the most important thing. The most important one, Hanulak. Humble. Humble. Great, brilliant, fantastic, extraordinary, uncommon, epic, legendary, and then the most of all, humble. Good evening, Bounty. How are you doing, my friend? All right, so let's kind of now. So I want to localize this icon to this view somewhere, so we can kind of. So let me play with it for a tiny fraction of time. Nice, man. Good to hear. Good to hear. Also good to see you here. Trust me, Nikita, it really works in interviews. I'm not even kidding. So what I mostly if I'm looking for a new job or whatever, I use that all the time. It's like, tell us something about yourself, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, people generally say that I'm, you know, great and really good and perfect and stuff, but most of all they say that I'm humble. And then people mostly laugh to that, and it gives me cheap points, right? I mean, seriously. Okay. So we're gonna be spawning this fella somewhere, right? Okay, let me see one thing, right? Seriously, dude, I swear to God, I'm that serious. Do it. Like seriously, do it. No, but I'm that serious, man. Like you feel free to do it, because it's not going to like harm you in any way. It's just, but do it, you know, be semi-serious or whatever, right? But tell us something about yourself. I mean, come on, dude. This is kind of the art of, but this is seriously the art of. For example, when I interview people, I really start with very, very chill stuff, with jokes and stuff, because I don't want the interview to be interrogation. I want it to be a nice chat. So it's, yeah, why not? We're all human, right? Nobody likes formalities, right? Nobody likes to be interrogated, and nobody likes to be put on a spot. It's like, tell us everything that's perfect about you. It's like, dude, you know. Tell us how perfect you are, you know. It's like, dude, shut up. Tell us all about your perfection, Alex. Why do you even ask, dude? I was just about to start talking about myself. Fool. And here is the barcode. Fuck, man, why am I? It's so important to me to get this right, is that I just... Oh, nice, dude, nice. Crossing fingers for that, for sure. Crossing fingers. What about it, barcode? Dude, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, man. Thank you. I'm actually a bit now mad that you saw it and I didn't. I'm kind of offended in a way. You literally offended me, man. I love you. Thank you. You literally offended me. It's like, what? He saw the UI thing and I didn't? Like, what do you imply now? You know, that I suck? How dare you? Thank you, man. But you're absolutely right. Like, this for sure seems to be closer than this. The problem with that is that, let's see. Oh, shit. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you have eyes? How dare you to have eyes, man? Shame on you. Poke your eyes out right away, man. Don't you dare to say that I have padding issues. Okay, let's see. Ooh, beautiful. Okay. So let's actually see here. I might probably have some custom CSS or something. Do I? Style. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, I found it. So wrapper, underscore wrapper. So this Y, right? So padding. There you go, man. How dare you? How dare you call me out for not seeing a padding? Good thing your eyes are out. I think so. No, maybe not. Wait, dude. How dare you? How dare you let me do this in it? Okay. Amateur, exactly. Shit. Now you triggered me bad time. Oh, yeah. I'm kidding, man. Of course not. It's good. It's good. You didn't trigger me. It's such a good point because I want to just. This is the thing, man. It takes 3 seconds for me to fix this, and it makes it so much easier because then I don't have to think about it in the future, right? But let's see now. So this is P2. Yeah, I think now it's good. Even though it might look a bit off. It kind of seems that there's more space from the top still, but it's kind of, I don't know, right? So look at this. So this is P2, right? So this is half a RAM. It's 8 pixels. And then from the top, it's also half, you know, it's yeah. Right, so you can see here that PY is 2 pixels, 2 as well. So it seems that the values are the same here. I think the never mind. So I think this is the thing, right? I think now it's fine, right? Because it was indeed 4, right? Now it's fine. Okay. I obviously saw that. I clearly saw that on my own. Like, I was just about to say it, but then you said it. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I was like completely about to say it, and then he said it, and now he thinks that he said it, but he actually didn't. Easy. Yeah, I mean, let's just stare. Can we have a minute of silence for this amazingly looking editor now? Everybody, 1 minute of silence for this perfect editor. I'm never gonna actually even gonna write anything here because it's so amazing. Yeah, I mean, the thing is now, right? The thing is now. Exactly, not as perfect, clearly. Yeah. So let me try now one thing though, right? Let's try something new just for this view here. Exactly. My whole intention, guys, here was just to play you, because I just Hanu, like you said it. I don't have to say anything else. It was clearly an attempt to fool you guys. I actually woke up last night and I'm gonna let me mess this padding up and see who's gonna notice it. Yeah. Okay. So let's kind of, okay, I want to try just something for this view, right? Just for this share tweets, for this tweeting view, right? So what I'm going to do is going to be a bit radical here, but it might work. It might work. So I'm going to set this guy to relative, and then I'm going to set this guy to... no, that's going to be a bit painful, is it? Shit. Oh. So I'm gonna set this fella to absolute, right? And then I'm gonna say that it's like right is gonna be 0, and then I don't know, top is gonna be -50 or something, and then let's kind of no, well, nah, no. Need to zoom more. Okay, so that's kind of fine-ish, right? And then let's try to say border gray 400, 500, 600. I know, crazy, I know. And then I would add more padding here. That's a bold move, I agree. That's why I said bear with me, it's a crazy, yeah, nah. No. Okay, let's try another crazy thing. So this is not gonna do. Let's try another one. So get rid of this. Get rid of this. You know. Right? Let's do this. Let's very random, bear with me. I don't think that, wait a minute. The thing is, the reason why I'm wrapping this editor inside of the another div constantly is I don't think that this guy takes a class name. I didn't extend it with a class name, so let's just say full or something. Let me see, yeah. The thing is, right, exactly what I want to try. I don't know, I just want to, you write something here and then this is going to be like just an icon. I don't know, right? So not the text, but it's going to be like something like this, right? Like, let me try to say like share. And then, you know, class name, width of 10. Not this icon, it should be an arrow or something. Then you type and then you click on it. Stock Run, thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate it. And then I don't know, let's just, it's okay, right? Let's just play with it for a second. It's not an end of the world. We don't have to, at least I'm gonna, you know, have a peace of mind knowing that I tried it, right? Yeah, exactly, right? So let's try here, arrow right or something. Doesn't matter what the arrow is. So you type the tweet or something, right? And then, you know, I don't know, right? I don't know. It's just like, it would be nice to not waste another line here of space beneath it just because of the button, right? I don't know, I'm just trying to do something here meaningful, right? I don't know if it's even intuitive, right? I don't freaking know, but maybe with a better share icon, you know, like, and then obviously, right, like this has to be, you know, margin 0 or something. Right? Something like that, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel so. You do that, and then you're like, boom, you know, like, let's try to find that, what you just suggested. Let's try share. But I like that idea, G-Pound. I like that idea, 100%. 100% I like that idea. I also like the curvature and the size of the icon. I think it's pretty awesome. Is this an SVG? Ah, it's only 100 euros. Let's buy it. Okay, wait. Let's go to flat icons. And let's search for share arrow. Interesting. You kind of triggered me with that icon, I must admit. It's pretty cool, actually. It's a pretty good idea. I like that idea. Even though Dominic is gonna be looking for those icons anyway, I'm not gonna lose my mind over it. But it would be cool to nail... Here it is. Here it is. This is your suggestion, right? Here it is, almost, right? This one, right? Let's give it a shot. You guys are horrible. You're just triggering me now. Don't trigger me. I like that as well. I think I like this one better though. I think let's try it out. Let's give it a shot. Let's go to our assets images. Let's create a new SVG. Call it share arrow SVG. Oh my god, dude. I didn't copy SVG, didn't I? Copy to the clipboard. No, why is this guy saying nah, come on. No man, don't tell me this is an SVG. Shit. Wait a minute, I have an idea. Don't panic. No, I don't. No. I have few tricks under my sleeve, right? Don't worry. Don't worry. I always can out idea those services. HTML, sorry, optimize. Yep, there it is. And don't worry, German, we're not gonna use this in production anyway, most likely, because we'll need to kind of get our own icons in a way and stuff like that. This is just kind of what is it called? Just to kind of validate the idea, pretty much. So let's run those icons. So let's run our build process again. Placeholder is a good thing. Yeah, exactly. That all right, cool. So we build that, right? Yeah, definitely. Like, so what you just saw on my screen, you definitely don't use it for sure. Definitely don't download the PNG and then convert it to SVG and then optimize it and then put it in the folder in your project. You definitely don't want to do that, because if you ever decide that you need an SVG, you know, from the PNG, definitely don't convert it and then use it. And exactly, 100%. Only a fool would do that. Uneducated fool. Beautiful. This is it, guys. This is it. This looks great. This icon definitely paid off, and I love it. Should we just leave it like this? It looks great. Look at this. It's perfect. It's perfect UX. You come here and you see this, and you just remove yourself from the platform in 3 seconds. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm in love. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it. Production ready, 100%. Let's go. It was definitely paid off to convert that. The conversion went perfectly. I like it. It's beautiful. Okay, let's now try 7. Let's say text indigo 500. Ah, you fixed your issue. Let's celebrate. Nice. Amazing stuff, guys. Super happy for you. Seriously. Great job. And this is imported. What? Nice, nice, superb. Let me zoom this in. Interesting. So what do you guys think, seriously now, jokes aside, right? Do you think that this is something viable? And please don't absolutely 100% honest opinion. Do you think this makes any sense? With slight UI corrections, what do you think? Let me zoom in a bit. Oops. Not the best, not the worst, okay? Anyone else? It looks really nice in your opinion, okay? Thing is, right, so just to kind of share my thoughts, right, I feel that it's very hard to escape the mental model of the current internet, right? I don't want to force this platform to be different just so it's different, because that's kind of stupid. There's no value in being different just to be different. But on the other hand, I just want to feel free to experiment without feeling the constraints of the same things that we can find everywhere, right? You like it, but with more padding. You mean making this button fatter or something like that, right? Like this? I don't know, it's just, yeah, again, I don't want it to be just different. Looks better when it's fatter. Okay, I need to look at it a bit. I'm gonna leave it as you suggest. I don't like it better like that, but let me maybe stare a bit at it. I'm gonna leave it. I like it better when it's smaller, but again, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one, right? So give me a second here. I want to try something out. I want to try something out. Where am I setting the color for those guys? Maybe I'm not setting them at all. Let me just test that. Let's say text red 500. Text gray, gray, beautiful. That's the color I want. Text gray, gray. All right. So let me do one thing and then I'm gonna ask you the next question. Do you think this looks better like this when it's kind of faded out relative to the rest of this component? So do you like it better like this or when those icons were white? What do you think? I'm only concerned about accessibility or contrast ratio between the rest of the page. Faded, I agree. I vote faded as well. More opinions? I think faded as well. Awesome. Awesome. Perfect. One thing that I whatsoever have to remove, and maybe I'm wrong, time will tell. I just like this button when it's a bit tinier, when it's not so fat, right? All right, you type something in. Ah, I have an idea, guys. I have an idea. Shit, let's try that. Ha, I don't know, I just feel a bit creative doing that. So let's try one thing, just for this specific case here. Let me show you what I mean. Interesting. Let me show you what I want to do. So, let me just draft JS get text. Why doesn't it provide me direct link instant editor state get my text? Yeah. Let me just check one thing. I have a solid idea, I believe. All right, cool. So, and then if I remove this fella, nah. Do I really need this? Why do I need this? Okay, let me just do this. True. Okay, perfect. This is what I need. Let's say here, const has text. Bear with me. On. I don't know what's happened to my mind. I just feel like, right? So, I mean, we can now kind of play with this. You can see as soon as I kind of write something, this kind of little fella is indicating that. So it's like, obviously not the greatest animation, right? But we can make it kind of spin around whatever, something more creative, right? Let's kind of play with it a bit. Exactly, right? Because I was thinking, all right, say we do this, how do I indicate to users that, you know, right? Why is this arrow still? This. Oh yeah, I'm importing the what? Why am I importing this? That's so strange. What the hell is going on? That's so wrong. Anyway, okay, let's see now. So this guy starts kind of moving a bit. Let me just double check something. All right. Right. I don't know, not final, but it's a start, right? Not final, but it's a start. So it's a good. It's basically just to kind of have some solution for it, and then we can whatever, right? Yeah, I'm gonna actually go with it. Why not? Not gonna be scared of something different, right? Amazing. Okay, perfect. I'm happy with it right now. Happy with it right now. Okay, so that's all great, right? Now we need dimensions, or right? So now let's start building the functionality. Suggestions are gonna be our they're gonna be our tags, right? I believe that in my Redux store I do have the tags at this point. Let's take a look at our DevTools here for the our store in the Redux DevTools. We do not, no. We do have them, yes. Take a look at the state, tags, data. We have the tags, right? And those are the available suggestions we want to have, right? So let's kind of get them to this thing. So let's actually say const use selector state turn, and what was the path? So tags.data. So let's just say suggestions are going to be tags.data, and obviously state, and then this fella over here, we can get rid of that, and then now we should get our tags here, right? Of course we zoomed to oblivion. Yeah, obviously this draft.js built-in component kind of sucks. You can see that we definitely don't want to have it like this, but that's a different problem to solve, and a UI problem. So say that I say hi there, and then JavaScript world. So each time basically now here when there is a mention, this callback is going to be called, and we're going to get that tag here. And that's very important because we have to send those tags together with this content and then store it in the API, right? So if I say something, you can see that I get that thing that I tagged here as a in the callback, right? Now, one thing that we have to do, as we can see in the editor, when you actually tag something, it doesn't really differ in style, right? Let's go to our editor. We have this mention thing, and I happen to remember, if I remember well, that this fella had a way some CSS property to fiddle with to change some things that we have to change. So, and here it is. So let's scroll a bit here, and this is what we care about, right? Mention CSS class for mention text. This is literally what we need. Literally what we need. So let's close up a bunch of this stuff that we already solved. Infinite list, blah, 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 blah. So if we go to the actual editor and then, so actually this is kind of what I wrote that my class is. Can I just try Tailwind class here? I don't think it's gonna work. Text red 500. Just for the sake of it, probably not gonna work, but let's try. Actually it does work. Beautiful. Perfect, amazing, great, amazing, beautiful. Perfect, okay. So let's say text indigo 500. So my Tailwind is gonna work with this, it seems. So perfect, great, amazing, beautiful, great. Yeah, so we wanna kinda, right? Now, there was another property that I wanted to change, which was mention prefix. And I want to set this mention prefix to be a hashtag. Right. So if we go back here, not actually, is it working? Mention trigger, my bad. It's this fella here. I think. Mention trigger. And then mention prefix. No. We're good. Actually, I need both. It's fine. It's fine. Because I want so when you tag someone, I want to append the hashtag to it as well. So it's kind of clear. I think this is supposed to do that. Yeah, and you can see the hashtag kind of remains there. Perfect. That's what we need. Beautiful, great, perfect, amazing, perfect, beautiful, great. Okay. And this is what we're gonna have to kind of, so essentially this mention component is essentially this thing here, I think. This drop down, maybe, I hope so. And then we can pass our own custom stuff from our own, because you can see that this thing is kind of messed up, right? Let's see, let's read. If provided the past component is used to render a mention, it receives the following props: entity, key, mention, class name, and decor. No. Good evening, Sirma, my friend. How are you doing? No, mention component is actually defining how this renders. So we can kind of make a custom component on how our tags kind of render, and that's pretty cool to know. Good, man, good. Actually having a lot of fun, to be honest. I'm so motivated, and you guys are amazing. We've built, it's still a small but a super nice community, and I get motivated by a lot of people here. I literally feel I know some of you for years, and we know each other for 2 months, or some of you even a few weeks. So pretty good, man. Pretty good. You guys, yeah, just bunch of amazing people here. And I don't know, I just feel I'm going for a beer when I stream, and not, it doesn't feel like a burden, like work. It feels super fun. I don't know. Genuinely. Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, I think most of you know me by now. I just say what I think and what I feel. So it's nothing less, nothing more. To be honest, it's just fun. I don't know. So far, it's like most of the days I just can't wait to come from work and stuff and just stream. Because it's really fun. I don't know. It's like, yeah. So we'll need this. I don't know if we're gonna have time to do this today, but so honestly, like, this is also gonna be super cool. I don't know, I'm just super happy, really. This is gonna turn out better than I expected. without too much effort. So we'll need to kind of use our own drop down for this. We can clearly see that this built-in kind of pretty much isn't good. Let's just use nice words here. So I'm just gonna say here to do, and then just gonna put the docs there. So we're gonna yeah. So I feel it's gonna be a bit painful because it's coupled to this pop-up, but as long, yeah, we'll see. We don't need to solve that now because again, it's not the most important thing. What I wanted to do, yeah. So now basically you can type hi there, folks, WhatsApp with whatever, right? And you can see kind of as I'm typing, it's not really giving me that, let's say, IntelliSense, right? So it's not really great. So, and then of course, for every time we actually do a tag, we get this callback, which is literally something that if we didn't have, we wouldn't be able to use this, right? So that's really, really good. So perfect. So we are almost ready to create, to post to our API. So the only thing that we need here basically is, say, const how do we want to call the variable, state variable? Let's say, so essentially, Heisenball's, so this is this, so I'm using this mention plugin for draft, and so this dropdown that's rendered, it's rendered by that plugin, but we need to really, so the task for tomorrow is going to be actually rendering our own. So yes, sorry, so just a simple answer, this stuff that when I press a hashtag is a draft.js plugin I found, but we'll need to replace this built-in menu because as you can see it's pretty horrible, and we'll need to use our own, which is not as horrible basically, right? It is, man. I was incredibly happy a couple of streams ago that I found it, because it would take us a long time, probably several streams, to build all this functionality, because it's by no means simple. Because we actually, in one of my last streams, we went to the source code of this mentioned plugin, and the code was actually really good. So I was super happy because it wasn't like a random plugin that it seems to be. It has like I think if I remember, like 450 stars, written in TypeScript. So people who wrote it, they knew what they're doing. So there's no chance that I would have done it better, because actually let me reason with you why am I saying that. I'm saying that because the plugin is maintained and used by literally like hundreds of people. So if I go here, right, so if I actually go and show you, right, never mind. You can anyway see that those plugins are used by 794 organizations, 207 contributors, right? And I would advise anybody, whenever you're trying to use something as vital for the system as this thing is for Programmer Network, you at least owe yourself to research if that's something that's maintained or not. So just always go to the source code, figure out if that's something that's, you can see that they're constantly updating stuff and etc., and you can see that the code is actually pretty good. So we went in one of my streams through this, And you can see there's a lot of stuff that they wrote. There's a lot of, so to achieve this thing that looks simple, when you use it, exactly 100%. Perfect. Okay, so we're almost about to make it work with our API, I think. So we are kind of setting those things now. We have the content, right? So let me kind of go to my new article, right? And just copy let's just copy basically the handler here that I use for actually creating an article is going to be pretty much the same here. Oops. Let's put this variable here. It makes more sense. It's nicer. And then I can use my form. I can use my custom hook here. I have a used form hook that I wrote that handles all of my forms. And we're going to do that for the sake of consistency. And also I made that form, that hook really, it's a really awesome hook. So I'm just going to use it because I built it primarily for this system here. And it's using AJV schema, JSON schema that I use in my API and stuff. So it's kind of isomorphic in a way. I'm not sharing the schemas between front and back, but probably in a long run we're going to do that, right? And that's isomorphic stuff because you're sharing the code in your front end and back end, and it's pretty awesome, right? So let's kind of do this. Let's call this taught form. Let's kind of go and grab some schema example that I already have, and then we're gonna move that to appropriate place, whatever. For now, we just want to do this. Let's actually just call it form because there's no other form here. In this case, we're gonna have tags and content because those two things we are sending to the API. We'll need editor to row here. So editor to row. Editor to row basically is just my utility that I convert the state and then I stringify it, because when you're storing Draft.js content in your database, you cannot store it obviously as an object. You have to stringify it, otherwise it doesn't gonna work, right? So that all seems great. We will not navigate from here anywhere, so we can kind of do that. We can remove it. And then as the first thing now, we will create this, let's go to, let's see where I'm actually exporting this from, right? And nah. Yeah, let's come here, let's say thoughts, and let's create a new file. So this is where we're gonna kind of define our services, or to say just where we're gonna call our HTTP stuff from. So let's say create thought. We still haven't renamed the messages generic stuff in it we initially had to the proper thing, but we will, it's okay. And now here we can just say create thought. And then let me actually go to my API. Let's see how we implemented the okay, all good. That's good. Now, good evening, HD Loga. How are you doing, my friend? Haven't seen you in a while. So we don't really, okay, let's wait for this just for the sake of seeing if we get any response or whatever. But generally we'll need a try catch in here. And actually let's kind of do it already, because we're localizing this. We're obviously, as you can see, we're not doing anything in it. This is not an action creator that we just created. It's just a normal HTTP thing. So for now, if the error occurs, we'll have to handle it here. And good, pretty good, man. Having a lot of fun, enjoying the process. Nice, man. Any issues that you're having? All right, so let's kind of see if this works. Handle create. Let's this is API. So let's use this thingy, and we basically want to do it when, and we want to do some other things as well. We'll do it. It's okay. So we have this button now, and basically on click we want to call handle create, right? Now, of course, one thing we forgot, we have this required. So we have our content, we have tags. Let's find some tags schema. Tags, yeah. Actually, no, tags are not strictly required, right? So we're not going to make them required, because technically they are not required. You don't have to tag anyone when you are actually so there's not going to be any min, there's not going to be such thing. And then also the type is wrong here, so type is going to be a number. And that's it. I'm struggling with React component that didn't write. The person that did left the project. I think I need a lot of factor and I'm out of ideas. I share it to Discord. Share it on Discord, man. I'm happy to help. But keep in mind, again, very kind of important thing to, this is not a lesson, I'm sure you know this, but oftentimes it's easier to rewrite something than refactor it. So I think at certain points in time, you just have to understand what that component is supposed to do, and then you can just write it better. Sometimes that's 10 times faster, right? HD logo. Many senior people struggle with that sometimes as well. So don't feel discouraged, because it's a matter, you know, I've been writing this same stuff literally for 13 years, from Angular and Ember.js and Knockout and jQuery and vanilla JavaScript and anything you can imagine. So it's nothing impressive about it apart from just doing it every single day for years, right? So you'll get there. Don't get discouraged. There's no secret ingredient. Nobody just knew it up front. It takes a while. Thank you very much for the follow, man. Appreciate it. It takes a while to master anything, and you don't have to master it now. Yeah, share it whenever, man. I would like to see it as well. Just take the time, man. It's a process, right? It takes, you know, you might see someone doing things fast and this and that and preaching this and that, but keep in mind that that person has most likely done it 7 billion times, right? And that's all that there is to it, right? So just enjoy the process as you do stuff. And reason ML, let me actually, give me 1 second here. Okay, this thing, what? So I think, let me just, because I think a couple of years ago that yeah, exactly, yeah. And this was for PHP, if I remember, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? It was something related to, or no, it wasn't. No, yeah, exactly. I remember seeing this, I don't remember where exactly, right? Candy Crush, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. HD Loga, I cannot answer your question right now. I remember that I spoke about, I had a long discussion about this, I think several years ago, with a colleague at the company where I worked, and I don't remember what the outcome of that discussion was. I haven't used this ever in production or anything, so I can't really give you any meaningful insights because I would be talking out of my butt, right? Overall, right, as I always say in my stream, add tools to your project if you have a problem. The thing is, I think one of the reason why JavaScript community is one of the worst in the industry is because a lot of people pile up tools because they want to have fun. And many times juniors especially do those things. And as you kind of progress in your career, you slowly try not to use anything. You slowly try to move away from anything that you don't need. I've seen projects with enormous complexity using GraphQL, all sorts of like type checking systems and stuff, and they are generated in the end as a static page websites or something like that, right? So, try to, even early on in your career now, understand that there's no such thing as cool tools or uncool tools, because I think, again, we've created this hipster community in JavaScript where we separate things to cool and uncool. But the tool can only be useful or useless. It can solve a problem that you truly have. I think that we live, if you watch Silicon Valley like series, there's that funny scene when Guilfoyle says we are inherently kind of making the let me try to find it. Wait, let me try to do it here. I think it's gonna explain pretty much what I'm saying. Wait a minute, let me. No, give me a second. Give me 5 seconds here. No, it's not about don't reinvent the wheel, right? In a way, right? Don't reinvent the wheel, of course, is a common sense type of thing. What I'm trying to say is, like, try to seek for tools when you have concrete problems, right? This is the only natural way to right. For example, I'm not using TypeScript in neither in the front or back or any type system. And as you can guys see me coding every single day on this stream, I never get into those issues of missing a type or not knowing what to pass. And I'm by no means saying that you shouldn't use any of those things. But keep in mind that every tool you add adds extra complexity, adds extra steps in your build process, increases complexity. So when you're hiring people, they need to know those things or they have to learn them, etc., etc. So in ideal world, you want to have as less dependencies as you possibly can, and then you add them gradually when you feel that your team or yourself is struggling with things, right? So this is kind of something you should practice from the early days, right? So I'm not saying don't use tools. I'm saying use them if you need them. Yeah, but you see, there's also that thing, knowing TypeScript. There's not much to know about TypeScript, right? You can sit for 2 hours or an hour and learn majority of the things in TypeScript that you need to have to get a job, right? Because I spoke a lot about TypeScript in previous streams, and even today, TypeScript, what those companies, most of them expect you to know is just type system, and that's it. TypeScript is very, like, again, you're not going to be abusing generics and like, you can learn what an interface is, enum is, string, number, whatever. They're just commons. You already know those things. You already know what a string is. You already know what an object is, and that an object has some shape, right? You know what a template is. So it's just common sense. You don't have to sit and learn it, right? You know, like yeah, exactly. I mean, so sure. But anyway, regardless, you know, what I think about Reason, I don't know, I don't have experience with it. I do support any type system. I think the type system in general is not going to make your code worse. It's going to make it better. But again, like, no matter what we discuss, like, always just, you know, if you have a problem, solve it. If you don't have a problem, don't solve it. That's it, right? Don't do solution, right? Again, I just sent you that comedy. I think that thing that I sent you guys up there explains that pretty much what I'm talking about now, right? So follow that common sense and that's it. What the hell is going on, man? Okay, let's go to my front. I know. Okay, and yeah, sure. Again, it's by no means TypeScript is great. Any type system is great, and no type system is gonna make your code worse, right? It's very philosophical. I don't want to get into it because I cannot say anything that's meaningful and senseful without involving emotions. I've been writing JavaScript for so many years, but I also been writing other languages, strictly type languages, and it is a beautiful language. I mean, that's the thing, right? There, you just have to have a mentality of writing a non-statically typed language. It just requires a bit of shift in mentality. That's all, right? Because you're missing types, you somehow implicitly have to indicate through your code what something is, right? So but anyway, type system 100% always. It's just, yeah. Okay, so let me just do one thing fast. JavaScript used to be a very messy language many years ago, and year by year, as the ECMAScript community has been making changes and stuff, it made it a lot nicer and stuff, right? So it used to kind of, yes indeed, it used to be not such a super great language and stuff. Awesome, I'm gonna take a look. So yeah. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think that JavaScript is ever gonna get a type system. No. It's very difficult, right, to add a type system to the language that has been fully designed as a dynamic language, right? That is almost as if you say, hey, are we ever gonna make C++ dynamic language, right? It's just very difficult to do. It's not that they wouldn't, it's not that they haven't thought about it, right? It's just a very difficult thing to do because it's you know, it's just yeah. The thing is, right, guys, like I think one very massive misconception oftentimes is that actually, and trust me when I tell you this, many people confuse what a JavaScript actually is. For example, when we talk about DOM, right? When we talk about DOM, document object model. So when we talk about the interface, the way that we interface with HTML document, that's not JavaScript. So that is the APIs of the browser. So JavaScript as a language has a very small subset of things. A lot of things that we actually use are the browser related APIs. And yes, we use JavaScript to interface with those, but most of the things that you use in your code are not coming from a JavaScript language, they're coming from the browser. So when you use HTML5 history API, like I don't know, when you use React, the router and stuff, that's not JavaScript per se to say the API. Those things come within the browser, right? So JavaScript itself is just provides you with tools like most other languages. You have statements and loops and prototypes and prototypal inheritance and a lot. So this is JS, but most of the browser-based stuff is in the browser. So it's not defined by the JavaScript spec. It's defined by the browser spec, whatever the browser is, right? So that's why oftentimes you're like, hey, why does this work in Safari and it doesn't work in Internet Explorer or Chrome? Well, because those browsers implement those APIs differently, right? So a lot of times we attribute some things to the language, which is not true. The fact that we are just interfacing with some of those things with this language, right? But the subset of the tools in the language are quite small, right? Let me actually see here on editor state change. Almost like we're not let's see. The comment cannot be empty. Okay, so why are we not? Give me a second. From all the talk, I lost myself. Yes, my bad. Draft editor. Where am I importing it from? Here, yeah, that's fine. Sure, okay. Okay, let's try again. What? Funny when you can't read your own code. Editor state change. Okay, yeah, my bad, sorry. It's too late. I want to finish this and then we round up. Because, yeah, okay, that should be fine. We're almost. Yeah, okay, yeah, because sure, yeah. This is kind of legacy stuff that we introduced here. And now we'll have to say, here for this expression, we're gonna have to say form state content value, I believe, and then my pleasure, man. Like it's very kind of, but you know, just keep in mind that it's really never about React or whatever. Once you learn one of those things, it pretty much applies to everything else, right? So all other tools and stuff. So once you learn component composition and how to think about those things, then things are going to become very, very easy, right? Okay, let me just see here. What are we missing? Wait a minute. It just translates to everything else, right? Content.log. Great, I like that. So yeah, okay, so our state is invalid. Let's see why. So our validation is failing. Of course, because we don't have the tags here. Yep, so we did create it, right? Okay, let's tag it to something so we can see. Let's see. So we say JavaScript and then we say you guys rock. And then we'll have to refresh now. Let's see, did we actually create it and where is it if we did? Interesting. I do believe that we do manage to create it. Let's try again. So JavaScript. So we do get 201. Then if I refresh, let's see what we get. I'm almost certain we did create it. Let's go actually to our API. No, actually we can go to our Postgres thing here. Let's kind of query messages. As you can see. Ah, okay, yeah. My bad. So no, we're actually really good. We're pretty good. I think the main issue now is that we're not really rendering the content now because our kind of dummy thing is creating. Yep, we're good. Beekeeper. Let me check what that is. Once I see it, I'll be able to tell you. No, I've never heard of this. No. Ah, this. I don't know, man. I don't remember. I don't remember, but I'm gonna download it instantly if you say so. I'm gonna download it instantly and I'm gonna install it right away. How much money is it? Is it one-time purchase? Okay, I respect that. I don't mind giving that money. All right. All right, I'll have to configure this because I have my stuff. I mean, you know, you have PG admin, you have a lot of stuff, right? But doesn't matter much, right? So actually what I want to do now is if I actually go to the article JSX, how am I rendering the content inside here? Where's my, so author card, comment section, highlight. Yeah, so editor to HTML, right? Great. So we're gonna basically go to, so we're gonna go and we're gonna finalize kind of this today, and then we're gonna round up. So we go here, we go to our user message, and then where's our content here? So we're just gonna say, wait, what did I call it when I built it? Editor to HTML, editor to HTML. We pass this fella. Now let's see. Okay, fine. We're good because our API is generating wrong stuff right now, which is fine. Where's my API? I seriously keep closing it for whatever reason. It's beyond me. Okay. So let's let me kind of do this and this and this. Let's see if we still have those messages that we do. So I'm just gonna okay. Let me actually go to my Thunder client here. Let's go to collections, messages, get blah blah blah, send this thing, get this thing. Scroll all the way down, I guess. Now scroll all the way up. Let's get the raw thing. Response. Let's copy the response. Let's get here. Let's do this. Let's say content. No, what should I look for? What should I look for? Jesus Christ, man, why am I failing to find it? Where's the... This was the first page, maybe. Let's see. No. Yes, I have used PHP Storm. I've used a lot of stuff from JetBrains. I've used the WebStorm. I've used the I've used the Sea Lion. I've used quite a bit of those tools. Yes. The thing is with the thing with those things, the thing with WebStorm and PHP Storm and those things, right, is that unless you're really using debugger and debugging properly, unless a lot of those tools are something that you really truly use, then it's pointless to use those tools, right? Like for example, I've been writing some Node.js in WebStorm, and they had a good plugin and stuff, and same with like Visual Studio, not Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio, and if you're not using really like a lot of those advanced tools from those, because those are very heavy IDEs, you're using the wrong tool, right? In that case, Visual Studio Code, Sublime Text, etc., are way better option. But if you're using all the tools that they have, because those tools come with a lot of cool stuff, then it's definitely justified, right? In my opinion, yeah. All right. Man, like, I'm a bit mind blown. Why am I wasting time here? It's just like I want to... How hard is it to seriously, like... All right, let me do one thing. Where is this one? 51, 52, 53. It's not really finding the ones that I've created. I'm just searching by. It's quite strange, actually. Yeah, no. So freaking strange, man. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah. Never mind. I didn't create them by with tag with no. I think I've created them. Yeah, sure. Okay, fine. Just gonna talk to myself here for a second. But I just want to do one thing and then we're done for tonight. So that's the kind of last thing I want to do. So let me come here and create some with tags, and then you're gonna see what I have to do. So I'm gonna say React, JavaScript, Python are so cool, man. I don't get it. Why is it not? Maybe did I forget here in the front due to a lot of chat to... Yeah, I think I did. Let's see. Yeah, probably. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I just forgot that it's fine. Where's that la la la, this thing, right? Not actually calling the right thing. How did I implement this hook? Let me see. Actually, my mind is kind of dying now. So late. Set form state. I think they should be fine. Maybe. Let's try. Not yet. Tags are still empty. That's quite strange. Get back here. Try to push this again. Come back here. Form data tags are empty. State tags are empty. So I think I'm just lagging out a bit. It's okay. We push through. We'll push through. Because that's not how I implemented it. That's the problem, right? That's not how I implemented set form tag. Well, there's no set form tags. There's set form state. I have a single method that's called set form state, and it takes a name of the value of the form. The thing is, so this use form is it's my custom hook that I implemented for my forms. So this thing is mine. Here you define initial state, you define the actual schema, AJV schema, JSON schema, and then I do magic inside, dirty state and stuff like that, right? But I have a single generic method called setFormState, takes the name of the input you're setting and the value, right? Technically, you're not wrong. I could have implemented it like that, right? But then that would add more complexity. Yeah, exactly, right? It's just something is off here now a bit. and I think my mind is just a bit dead. Let's see what's going on. Tags. I just keep going back to my create article here because yeah, that's all good. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Also, right over here, I could just say tag.id. That's kind of what we need. And then over here, I would no longer need to do this. Let's come here and print this stuff, and let's see what the value of this is. I'm 100% sure I'm just that tired and my brain is shifting, but I don't want to go to sleep until this is done, that's all. But we're good, it's all pretty good. So yeah, so we can see that we're not actually getting the previous state at all. Let me close this, man, it's annoying the hell out of me. Like I'm a bit I'm a bit mind blown here. We can see that it actually doesn't set the state at all. Ah, shit. Dude, what the hell is going on? Seriously, like, am I blind or something? think I'm just not thinking something through. I mean, this is the first time I'm using this outside of the actual inputs. Let me see what my inputs are doing, because I've designed that whole core library kind of, right? So each one of my inputs has the same interface and stuff. So on change set form state, let's go to one of them. This is kind of what I do, right? It's basically, yeah, the same for every input. Change. I don't get it. I'm not doing anything wrong. That's good. I mean, literally, I swear to God, everything seems fine. That's good. Tag still empty. What the hell, dude? Like, I'm a bit shocked here. It's almost like somebody trolling the hell out of me. What is going on? All right, we have to debug this. This is insane. I mean, really insane. Let me go to my hook. Let's get over here. Let's check the input. So when we actually do a tag, tags 1, right? So that's fine. So we get an object with the name tags and the value 1. Then we do object keys. This input now is going to be the name, which is going to be tags. Fields. We do have schema properties, unless we wrote the actual schema wrong. Then that would be another thing. Let's take a look. Properties. Content tags. That's good. Then we return the name, which is going to be the, that. Value input of name. Ah, shit. No, everything's fine. It's something super dumb silly, 100%. I have no doubts. It's gonna turn out in a second to be something completely idiotic, right? So we do set it right, it seems. What the hell, man? What the hell is happening? Let me just check one thing. Just check some other places because I'm now a bit... Yep. Yep. All good. So all is pretty good. That's good. Yep. Okay, good. Now let me revert all this. Oh my god, what an idiot. I found it. Copy paste gone wrong. What an idiot. I think. No. Didn't find it. It's a lie. But the feeling of hope that I had for a second was worth it. The feeling of hope was great. Yeah, I literally felt hopeful. I'm like, yes, such an idiot. It's great. Nah. Dude, I'm completely shocked. I swear to God, like, what the hell is going on? No, dude, like, no, but this is all of this code. I wrote it. Every single line of it is like, there's something that I just don't. What the hell is happening, man? That's literally what I do. I don't get it. So literally, so we do call this. We take the existing state, we get the new inputs, right? So we do spread stuff here. It has to be here. I see nothing else that really, like, I don't see. I genuinely don't see what else could be wrong. But something is almost resetting our tag state, and it's mind-blowing. Maybe I know. Maybe I know. Yeah, this is a new use case in the platform. That's why, because we haven't had this use case before. Because mentions that we get are also part of the editor, right? Even though this shouldn't matter much, to be honest. No, it's not that, right? Because I'm not using, no, absolutely not, right? I don't think it's that, right? Because I am spreading state already, right? If I go here, you can see set state, takes existing state and then spread with the new inputs, right? This is something related to, you can see, like, so it does set the value of this properly. I mean, we can try that. I mean, right now at this point, I'm almost desperate, right? So why not? 100%, right? I mean, sure, let's try. Let's try that. Desperate people. No. So you can basically, what? So it did work. What? Not quite, right? But almost. Well, actually, it will work now, right? I guess, right? Let's try one thing here now. So here we can say, so let's just say, state.form dot tags dot value tag ID. No, it's a good suggestion. I think I'm just brain dead. It's like 20 past 1 a.m. Okay. Let's see. Yep, there we go. There we go. We're good. Working finally, man. Okay, beautiful. Now let's actually do something, just so we can have it for our, and then we're done for tonight. So in 5 minutes we should be done. Dekita, thank you, my friend. You solved it. I wouldn't have solved it tonight. I would have given up and went to bed. So I appreciate it, dude. You pretty much solved this one, not me. You pretty much did it. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just say React, let's say JavaScript, and then let's save it. Let's refresh. gonna copy this thing. We're gonna go to our API. Go to our API. We're gonna go to why is my window management? I think I need to go to sleep. Yeah, let's go to Faker. Let's go to where we're creating the actual create message. For the content, we're gonna hard code this. And then we'll need to JSON stringify it. Okay, perfect. Let's refresh now and we should see a bunch of gibberish on our feed. Good, perfect. And then lastly, let's go to the front end. Let's go to user message and let's say here, content to HTML. So something probably went wrong with our Faker because I can see that it didn't convert this stuff properly. My bad. It's not my bad, it's fine actually. Let's actually go back here and let's see why. Ah, I get it. Maybe I've copied. Yeah, let's go to our Faker. Where's create message over here, right? Key, content, entity map. We can also see kind of that we get the mentioned data indeed. I do not dekey that. That's why I have to use the MJS. Yeah. In all, we're almost done with this task. There's this sort of stuff that shouldn't be appearing here, but that's because of our fake data, right? I guess. We actually try to say, hey, if I say good night everyone, have a great JavaScript, and I do this and refresh it, good night everyone, have a great JavaScript. So something is, so yeah, so our so this file editor to HTML isn't doing the right stuff, I guess. No, we're good. I mean, it's so late, man. I've been streaming, for like 4 hours now. I'm just dead, and I have to work in 6 hours. So this is relevant. We're good. We nailed it. We crushed it. It's perfect. I don't care. This is just like, let's actually fix it just so I can go to bed like king. Well, let me first get rid of all of those useless things. Good. For data content. That's good. Yep. In 2 minutes. I'm going in 2 minutes. Then we're gonna just have the loading state tomorrow and stuff. Yeah, something's off, but I don't care. Ooh, fellas. It was a good one. 4 hours of a stream and 2 hours afternoon. So we streamed for 6 hours today. You cannot leave. You cannot leave, Barcode, before I leave. Sorry, man. You're just forced to stay in this stream. And did you cut your own eyes out yet? No. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. Jokes aside, guys, thank you. Cheers. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being around. Always appreciative. And you guys rock. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Everybody sleep well.